Hey guys, this is your daily dose of movies. Today I'm talking about horror, mystery, thriller movie, The Ritual. With a budget of $1 million and rating of 6.3 by IMDb. Phil. Dom. Hutch. Luke. And Rob. 5 old university friends meet for drinks at a pub and plan a group trip to catch up with one another. Rob suggests hiking in Sweden, but the others quickly dismiss him. Later that evening, the group leaves the pub and walks past a shop. Luke wishes to pause and purchase a bottle of vodka, and Rob joins him in this endeavor. They notice the distressed cashier slumped against the wall behind the register, while conversing in the shop. 2 armed robbers emerge from the back room, and Luke hides behind a shelf at the end of the aisle. Rob freezes in fear. Rob is antagonized by the robbers, who demand his wallet, watch, and ring. Rob willingly gives up the first 2, but refuses to give them his ring, because it's his wedding ring. Luke, who is still hidden, flips the bottle in his hand and prepares to intervene. However, he's too slow to act, and Rob is bludgeoned to death right in front of his eyes. 6 months after Rob's death, the 4 embark on a hiking trip along Kungsleden, King's Trail, in Sarek National Park in northern Sweden to honor his wish. When Dom loses his footing and injures his knee, making it difficult for him to walk, Hutch consults the map and determines that an alternate route through a forest off the trail will take them half the time. When the group enters the forest, they encounter strange phenomena such as a gutted elk hanging from tree branches and strange symbols carved on the trees. As night falls, the men are soaked by a torrential downpour. They come across an abandoned cabin while looking for shelter and decide to break in and stay the night. Inside the cabin, they discover necklaces hung on the walls that depict symbols similar to the runes carved in the tree. Phil discovers a strange wooden effigy shaped like a decapitated human torso with antlers for hands while exploring the second floor of the cabin. The 4 are plagued by nightmares at night. When Luke awakens the next morning, he discovers that he has a series of strange puncture wounds on his chest. The group discovers Phil in the attic, naked and kneeling in front of the effigy in prayer. The group departs the cabin to continue their journey deeper into the woods in search of a way out. Luke notices a human-like hand wrapped around the trunk of a distant tree while climbing a ridge to gain perspective on their location. Dom is skeptical of his report as he attempts to discuss it with the group. An argument ensues, during which Dom reveals that he blames Luke for Rob's death and accuses Luke of being a coward for failing to act during the robbery. Screams awaken Luke from another nightmare later that night. When they discover Hutch'S tent is empty, they rush deeper into the woods, following Hutch'S screams. By dawn, they realize they've become disoriented and can't remember where they camped. They decide to continue their search even though they are missing their tents and supplies. Hutch is impaled on tree branches, much like the gutted deer they discovered earlier. The group recovers Hutch's body in order to retrieve his compass and knife, and then gives him an impromptu burial by wrapping his body in tree branches. Luke abandons Phil and Dom on the lower part of a ridge and climbs a hill that offers a panoramic view of the entire forest. He notices that they are near the edge of the forest and notices smoke rising from distant campfires. He returns to the 2 to inform them of the news, but finds them with their flashlights pointed at the trees, claiming to have heard a noise. Phil is abruptly dragged off screen by an unseen creature. When Luke is looking for a hiding place, he runs into Dom and convinces him to join him. They get to their feet and start running, the creature chasing them. They come across Phil's body, impaled on the branches of a tree near a torched path leading to a small village. They seek refuge in the first structure they come across and collapse on the cabin floor, only to be beaten unconscious by its occupant. When they awake, they find themselves in a basement, bound by their hands. An elderly woman enters the basement and examines Luke's chest puncture marks. She yanks her dress down to reveal a similar pattern on her chest. She turns to leave the basement and utters a command in a foreign language, prompting 2 men to grab Dom and carry him to the cabin's upper floor. A younger woman enters the basement and explains that sacrifice preparations are underway. Dom is escorted back to the basement sometime later, beaten and bloodied but still alive. He informs Luke that he will be a human sacrifice to the creature and instructs him to find a way to flee and destroy the village. Dom is led outside and led to a wooden post, where his hands are tied behind his back. A roar can be heard from the forest as the day turns to night. The kidnappers immediately fall to their knees in prayer. Dom sees his wife emerge from the trees, holding his face in her hands. This is the creature that has been following the men, and it resembles the wooden effigy they discovered in the abandoned cabin. Dom is yanked from the post and impaled on the branches of a nearby tree, where he dies. Desperate to flee, Luke breaks one of his restraints by breaking his thumb, but he is unable to undo the second before being interrupted by the young woman's unexpected entrance. When Luke inquires about the creature, she explains that it is a Jotun, a godlike figure from Scandinavian mythology, and that they offer sacrifices to it in exchange for immortality. She claims that Luke will participate in a ritual in which he will either submit to the creature and join the cult or be killed. Luke breaks free from his restraints and exits the basement after she leaves. He goes to the cabin's upper floor after hearing prayers and screaming from behind a closed door. He opens the door, armed with a burning torch, to find a twisted congregation of mummified but still living humans, clearly the end result of the immortality granted by their worship of the creature. Dom's final wish is fulfilled when he sets the worshippers on fire. This act draws the attention of the Jotun, who emerges from the forest to find the cabin on fire. In a fit of rage, the creature slaughters the remaining worshippers. Luke takes advantage of this opportunity to flee the burning cabin undetected, armed with a rifle and an axe. Luke aims and fires at the creature as it is about to kill a worshipper before fleeing into the woods. The creature follows him, attempting to paralyze his mind by inducing hallucinations of his recurring nightmare. The creature eventually catches him and forces him to his knees several times, giving Luke the opportunity to submit. He strikes the creature on the head with an axe he had previously taken from one of the worshippers. He then follows the sunlight out of the forest into an open field. The creature does not emerge from the forest because it appears to be unable to follow. The monster roars at him, and he screams triumphantly back. Luke moves away from the monster and toward a paved road with a passing car, a sign of civilization. Hope you enjoyed this dose of movies. Have a nice day. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See ya!